This morning, we are revealing Consumer Reports' top picks for best and most reliable used cars.
Consumer Reports recently dropped a bombshell in the automotive world with their latest used car reliability rankings. If you're planning to buy a car or just curious about how various brands stack up against one another, you definitely want to hear this. What are those hidden gems that have now become your go-to dependable picks? Which brands, once the gold standard, are now making us question their reliability? And let's not forget the bigger picture here. Why exactly does this all matter to you? What's happening? This groundbreaking report doesn't just scratch the surface, it dives deep, exposing some surprising truths that turn traditional beliefs about car brands on their heads. With data sourced from over 150,000 vehicles, this ranking serves as a wake-up call for anyone thinking they know which cars stand the test of time. The spotlight is on vehicles that are 5 to 10 years old, a golden age for many used cars. Some brands have emerged as the reigning champions in reliability, solidifying their long-standing reputation. Meanwhile, there are some familiar names that you'd expect to soar to the top, but they've surprisingly been left in the dust. So let's dive right in and kick things off with the top dog that's leading the pack. And while you're here, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel to keep up with all the latest and greatest. Lexus. Lexus, an offshoot of Toyota, sits on top with an astonishing reliability score of 75. This brand has built a reputation not just for luxury, but for unwavering endurance. Lexus vehicles are not merely crafted, they are meticulously engineered masterpieces designed for the long haul. So what propels them to this lofty score? Every vehicle produced goes through a gauntlet of rigorous testing. Imagine the scrutiny each model faces, ensuring it meets and exceeds the highest standards before it ever sees the road. If a car doesn't pass, it's back to the drawing board. Then there's durability. Lexus models are like the tanks of the auto world, built with tough components that can take a beating and keep on going. The brand's insistence on top-tier materials, that's a huge part of what keeps their cars running smoothly for years. And let's not forget about customer feedback, which plays a critical role in their reliability story. Owners are the eyes and ears on the ground, reporting any issues they encounter. This feedback loop is invaluable, allowing Lexus to spot potential problems early on and implement solutions that fortify the brand's reliability. It's almost like having a sixth sense for car troubles before they escalate. Toyota. Now, let's turn our attention to Toyota, the dependable workhorse with a strong following. Mere points behind Lexus, Toyota scores a commendable 72. This reputation for reliability isn't just fluff, it's built on a foundation of solid engineering principles that have stood the test of time. Toyota's engineering approach favors simplicity, prioritizing features that enhance durability. This focus means fewer complications arise as vehicles age, translating into a smooth ride for years on end. It's the kind of reliability that inspires confidence. Drivers know they can count on their Toyotas. Thorough testing is another hallmark of Toyota's commitment to quality. Similar to its sister brand Lexus, Toyota leaves no stone unturned by putting its vehicles through exhaustive laboratory assessments and real-world trials. This rigorous process ensures that when a Toyota hits the market, it's already proven itself in various conditions. And let's talk about resale value. Toyota vehicles come with a reputation for holding their worth better than many of their competitors, a testament to their longevity. This isn't just a numbers game, it reflects the confidence consumers have in these vehicles. When you buy a Toyota, you're not just investing in a car, you're investing in a trustworthy partner for the road ahead. Mazda. Let's take a closer look at Mazda, the rising star in the automotive arena. You might be surprised to learn that Mazda has not just made a splash, but landed solidly in the third position with an impressive score of 59. This is remarkable, especially considering Mazda's history of being seen merely as a value-oriented brand. Recently though, they have shifted gears dramatically, concentrating their efforts on quality and performance, a change that has transformed how consumers view them. What's behind this newfound stature? First, let's talk about Mazda's innovative technologies. Their cutting-edge SkyActiv technology is a game changer. Imagine a system that not only boosts fuel efficiency, but also preserves performance levels. It's a delicate balance that Mazda has managed to strike beautifully. Consumers, particularly those craving reliability coupled with an exhilarating driving experience, have really taken note. It's hard to ignore a brand that delivers on both fronts, isn't it? But here's where it gets really interesting. owner loyalty. Did you know that Mazda owners consistently report high levels of satisfaction? This isn't just window dressing, it directly correlates with strong brand loyalty. When customers feel this kind of connection to a brand, it amplifies perceptions of reliability even further. It's a cycle of positivity. Satisfied owners become brand advocates, reinforcing the narrative that Mazda vehicles are not only dependable, but also enjoyable to drive. Buick. Let's dive into Buick, a surprising contender in the automotive landscape. This venerable brand has secured the 4th position with a score of 47, a result that might catch many off guard, especially when you consider Buick's long-standing reputation as a more traditional American marque. What's the story behind this unexpected ranking? Let's talk about Buick's relentless modernization efforts. In recent years, the brand has embarked on a transformative journey. Gone are the days of being stuck in a vintage time warp. Instead, Buick has made significant strides in revamping its lineup. They've honed in on quality materials and integrated advanced technology that appeals to a more discerning audience. This thoughtful shift didn't just happen overnight. It reflects a deep commitment to evolving with the times. Consumers are noticing this transformation, and it's beginning to alter their perception of what Buick stands for. The question here is, why does this modernization matter so much? It's not just about a better-looking car. It signifies a broader shift within the American automotive industry. As preferences change rapidly, brands must adapt or risk falling into obscurity. Buick's deliberate push toward modernization highlights their understanding of the evolving consumer landscape, a landscape that now prioritizes style, quality, and technology over mere tradition. So what does all this mean for Buick's future? The brand is at a crossroads, poised to redefine itself as a player in the contemporary automotive scene. While they have a legacy to uphold, they are also bravely stepping into new territory. With their modernization efforts and an eye toward appealing to a diverse range of demographics, Buick might just surprise us all. Mini. Let's talk about Mini, the brand that has brilliantly secured its place in the top 5 with a score of 42. This might raise some eyebrows. Mini is often celebrated for its quirky design and spirited performance, but its reliability? That's a curveball for many consumers. So what lies beneath this playful exterior that makes Mini a contender worth noting? First, let's talk about engineering excellence. You might think that with its small size, a Mini could compromise on durability, but think again. These vehicles are crafted with meticulous attention to solid engineering principles that don't just enhance performance, but also bolster their lasting power. There's a unique blend of functionality and flair in every Mini, proving that you can be compact without sacrificing strength. When you drive a Mini, you're not just cruising in style, you're seated in a vehicle built to withstand the test of time. But that's not all. Mini isn't just about the machines, it's about the people behind the wheel. Here's where community engagement comes into play. Mini has done a phenomenal job of fostering an enthusiastic community among its owners. It's like being part of an exclusive club where camaraderie runs high and shared experiences are the norm. This sense of belonging leads to higher satisfaction rates among Mini owners, not just because of the car's performance, but because they feel like they are part of something bigger. Now let's talk about the key factors that contribute to the surprisingly high reliability scores we see shining through for several standout automotive brands. At first glance, these rankings might paint an unexpected picture, but upon closer inspection, it becomes clear that a few essential elements are driving this impressive reliability. So how are they up on top? And let's talk about the robust engineering practices, and here's where we really see the cream rise to the top. Brands like Lexus and Toyota aren't just participating in the auto industry, they are trailblazers known for their engineering excellence. Their commitment to building vehicles that emphasize durability and simplicity is no accident. In fact, it's a deliberate design philosophy that aims to minimize potential long-term problems. When the focus is on crafting vehicles that stand the test of time, the results speak for themselves. These manufacturers aren't just building cars, they're creating reliable, long-lasting companions for the open road. Consumer feedback mechanisms come into play as another pivotal factor. Picture a brand that's not just hearing from its customers, but is actively engaged in a conversation with them. This ongoing dialogue allows these brands to stay ahead of emerging issues. They're not waiting for problems to arise. They're listening to owner feedback and turning it into actionable solutions. By implementing improvements based on this feedback, They enhance their vehicle's reliability and strengthen the bond with their customer base. It's all about creating a responsive and agile company that's willing to adapt and grow with its consumers. Last but certainly not least is brand loyalty, which is often the secret weapon in the battle for market dominance. High levels of customer satisfaction create a cycle of repeat purchases and glowing reviews. Happy customers talk, and their positive experiences reinforce the brand's reputation over time. Just think about it. When you're satisfied with your vehicle, you're more likely to recommend it to friends and family. This creates a community of loyal enthusiasts who don't just buy cars, they support a brand they believe in. Now let's talk about the automotive brands that have managed to grab the spotlight, but not for the right reasons. Chrysler, Dodge, Tesla, Hyundai, and Kia have all languished at the bottom of Consumer Reports' used car reliability rankings, leaving potential buyers scratching their heads. What's going wrong here? Let's break it down and talk about the reasons for these dismal reliability scores. Chrysler and Dodge. When we shine a light on low-ranking brands and their troubling reliability issues, it becomes clear that the story is complex. Take Chrysler and Dodge, for instance. These brands carry a heavy weight of American automotive heritage, but despite that legacy, they have faced tumultuous terrain in recent years. The struggles are real, and they are evident. Reliability concerns abound for Chrysler's lineup, with ownership experiences marred by a string of electrical issues, persistent transmission failures, and an overall perception of poor build quality. Just look at models like the Chrysler 300 and the Dodge Charger. Sure, they look great on the outside, but inside, that's where the trouble often begins. Critics have lambasted these cars for their inconsistent performance, which leads us to question whether form really does follow function here. Then we have the consumer feedback, which is telling to say the least. Numerous owners report a troubling trend of frequent repairs and skyrocketing maintenance costs, turning what should be a joyride into a financial headache. A particularly sore spot seems to be the transmission system, where many drivers complain of rough shifting, or in some unfortunate cases, complete failure. Imagine cruising down the highway only to find your vehicle struggling to switch gears. Frustrating, right? This is precisely the reality for many Chrysler and Dodge owners. The market perception can be cruel, especially for brands with the storied past that Chrysler and Dodge enjoy. Despite their rich history, these American brands have a hard time breaking free from the narrative that their vehicles are simply less reliable compared to their rivals. Think Toyota or Honda, who are known for their rock-solid performance. This negative perception can be a significant roadblock for rebuilding consumer trust. In the wild world of automotive choices, reliability is king, and brands like Chrysler and Dodge might need to reassess their strategies if they want to reclaim a spot in the hearts of consumers. Can they turn their ship around, or are they doomed to remain at the bottom of the rankings? That's a question for the road ahead, and one that car buyers should consider carefully before making a commitment. Ready to take the plunge into the realm of reliable vehicles? Your ride may depend on the answers to these pressing questions. Tesla. Let's dive into the electric enigma that is Tesla, a brand that has boldly disrupted the automotive industry with its innovative electric vehicles. Yet, despite its forward-thinking reputation and groundbreaking technology, Tesla is finding itself under increasing scrutiny, especially when it comes to the nitty-gritty of reliability. So what's going on behind the shiny exterior? First off, let's talk about recall patterns, a crucial indicator of a vehicle's reliability. Tesla has made headlines for its recalls, and not in a good way. With a variety of issues ranging from seatbelt malfunctions to vexing software errors, the list is concerning. In one stark example, over 800,000 vehicles were recalled due to seatbelt chime failures. Imagine that, a feature designed to enhance safety actually turning into a potential hazard. These lapses raise questions about the overall safety and dependability of Tesla vehicles, causing many to wonder if they can trust the brand on the road. Quality control issues haven't been strangers to Tesla either. Early models suffered significant setbacks, with problems like paint defects and misaligned body panels slipping through the cracks of production. These weren't just minor blemishes, they were issues that caused frustration for new owners who expected premium quality from a flagship electric car. Fast forward to newer models, and shockingly, it seems that these problems haven't entirely disappeared. Consumer dissatisfaction is growing, fueled by the feeling that for a brand that prides itself itself on cutting-edge technology, the basics of quality control are still a work in progress. Then, there's the matter of technological complexity. Tesla's allure lies in its advanced technology, and while innovation is undoubtedly a selling point, it comes with its own set of complications. The heavy reliance on software updates instead of traditional mechanical fixes can create a frustrating experience for consumers. Picture this: your car has a glitch, and instead of seeking a straightforward mechanical repair, you're left waiting for a software update to resolve the issue. For many, this can feel like an endless cycle of frustration, especially when reliability is a key factor in their purchase decision. So what does all this mean for Tesla and its reputation? The electric vehicle market is a competitive arena, and while Tesla has led the charge in terms of innovation, it's evident that reliability issues could create cracks in its armor. As consumers grow more savvy, they're not just looking for a car that runs on electricity. They want assurance that it will get them from point A to point B without a headache. However, recent findings unveil an unsettling truth. Serious reliability concerns are casting a shadow over their reputations. So what's really going on beneath the surface? Let's start with one of the most alarming issues: engine failures. Both Hyundai and Kia find themselves entangled in legal battles related to engine defects that have resulted in catastrophic failures. The infamous Theta 2 engine is the poster child for these problems. It's made headlines for all the wrong reasons. Reports of oil sludge buildup leading to engine stalling or outright failure while driving have left many unsuspecting drivers in dangerous situations. Imagine cruising down the highway and suddenly your car just gives up. That's not just a minor inconvenience, it's a serious safety issue that demands attention. And if engine failures weren't enough, let's talk about fire risks. Hyundai and Kia have faced significant scrutiny due to fire hazards linked to electrical shorts in their vehicles' anti-lock braking systems. As a result, the brands issued recalls for millions, yes, millions of vehicles. Owners were left on edge, receiving urgent warnings to park their cars outdoors due to the potential fire hazards. Can you imagine the anxiety of driving a car that might catch fire at any moment? It's a nightmare scenario for any car owner, undermining the sense of safety and reliability that consumers expect from their vehicles. But wait, there's more. Ongoing recalls have become the norm for a significant number of Hyundai and Kia models. Picture this: a recall affecting a staggering 3.4 million vehicles was announced because of the risk of fires caused by, get this, brake fluid leaks. That's not just a hiccup, it's a massive red flag that has consumers rightfully concerned. With so many recalls ongoing, it begs the question: how many more issues are lurking beneath the surface? For brands that have built their identities around affordability and value, this affordability paradox represents a profound dilemma. What happens to consumer trust when reliability issues overshadow pricing? The very foundation of Hyundai and Kia's appeal is starting to crumble under the weight of these concerns. Buyers are becoming increasingly cautious. They want to feel secure in their choices, not live in fear of engine failures or spontaneous combustion. In a competitive automotive landscape where reliability is crucial, Hyundai and Kia need to address these critical issues head on. The stakes have never been higher. Can they navigate this crisis and restore consumer confidence? Or are they destined to be remembered as brands that put affordability ahead of reliability? As potential buyers weigh their options, this affordability paradox looms large. Are you ready to rethink what you thought you knew about these brands? The clock is ticking, and the road ahead is anything but smooth. These findings from Consumer Reports are more than just numbers. They have the potential to completely reshape how consumers view various car brands, influence future sales figures, and ignite industry responses aimed at meeting changing consumer expectations. This analysis takes a deep dive into these pivotal themes, focusing specifically on how the findings might alter perceptions of car brands, sway future sales, and prompt a vigorous industry response. Impact on the industry. Let's talk about the shifting consumer perceptions that are at play. The recent reliability rankings have brought stark contrasts among automotive brands into sharp focus, compelling consumers to reassess their long-held beliefs. Trust and loyalty come into play as consumers often build allegiance based on brand reputation. When that reputation is jeopardized, so too is loyalty. The findings regarding reliability may kick longtime Chrysler or Tesla owners into reconsidering their brand allegiance. If these these loyal consumers experience issues with their vehicles, the cracks in their loyalty could quickly widen into chasms. On the flip side, positive rankings for brands like Mazda could serve as an enticing beacon, luring in new customers who may have previously overlooked the brand, perhaps due to misguided beliefs about its value proposition. Consumers are increasingly leaning on peer recommendations and online reviews, making reliability data a hot topic of discussion surrounding automotive brands. This shift could lead to a ripple effect where positive experiences are spread widely, enhancing reputations, while negative experiences could flood discussions with cautionary tales. For instance, if a friend raves about their trouble-free experience with a Mazda, it could pique interest among those who hadn't previously considered that brand. Conversely, negative feedback about Tesla's reliability misfortunes could act as a deterrent for potential buyers still on the fence. As these shifts occur, the impact on brand positioning is becoming increasingly clear. Automakers may need to rethink their entire marketing strategies in response to these findings. For brands like Dodge and Chrysler, rebranding efforts may be essential to improve their image and restore consumer trust. These efforts could involve highlighting new models or features that underscore quality and reliability, turning the focus away from the aesthetics or power that once dominated their messaging. For instance, Dodge could pivot its communications to emphasize robust performance and durability, aligning itself more closely with what modern consumers truly value. Furthermore, targeting new demographics will be crucial as younger consumers wield increasing influence in the automotive market. Automakers need to adapt their branding strategies to align with the values of this emerging demographic, which prioritizes aspects such as sustainability and technology integration. Brands that can confidently position themselves to resonate with eco-conscious consumers stand to gain not just loyalty, but also enhanced market share in an increasingly competitive landscape. The future of the industry. The implications of vehicle reliability rankings stretch far beyond just how consumers perceive brands. They ripple through the very core of the automotive industry, influencing future vehicle sales in concrete ways. We can observe significant shifts in purchasing behavior among consumers. Increasingly, buyers are drawn to brands with undeniable reliability records. It's a no-brainer when people think of dependable vehicles. Names like Toyota and Lexus often come to the forefront. These brands have built a devoted following largely based on their track records for reliability, which means vehicles from these manufacturers might see a spike in demand. In contrast, brands like Chrysler and Tesla could find themselves in a precarious position. If they don't swiftly address their existing reliability issues, they could face a sharp decline in sales. Imagine wanting a car desperately, only to question whether it will actually get you from point A to point B without a hitch. That's a recipe for hesitation and lost sales. Then there is the impact on the used car market, which may undergo a dramatic transformation in response to these rankings. Picture this: as consumers begin to prioritize reliability in their purchasing decisions, there will likely be a surge of interest in pre-owned models from top-performing brands. For those who are looking for value without sacrificing quality, reliable used cars will stand out like a beacon, commanding higher prices in the market. Meanwhile, on the other end of the spectrum, pre-owned vehicles from brands that occupy the lower rungs of the reliability ladder will struggle. These cars may see a swift decline in value, leading to steeper depreciation rates that hit sellers right in the pocket. And let's not forget about the trend of long-term vehicle ownership, which is becoming increasingly important to today's car buyers. Consumers are on the lookout for vehicles that promise not just longevity, but also low maintenance costs. It's about more than just initial savings. It's about the overall experience over time. Brands that can effectively demonstrate these qualities will likely enjoy higher retention rates among their existing customer base. Just take Mazda as an example. A satisfied customer who experiences the dependability of Mazda is much more likely to turn to that brand again when it's time to upgrade their vehicle. Why? Because reliability builds trust, and trust fosters loyalty. It's a straightforward path from a positive ownership experience to repeat business. As we leap into the future, it's going to be exciting to watch how these dynamics play out. Will brands step up to meet what consumers want, or will they buckle under the pressure? Only time will tell. Thanks for tuning in, and see you on the next video.